going on, Schmodown fans? Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Schmodown. I'm Star Wars champion Andrew Dimalanta.
And I'm Nicki Dimalanta.
So sorry about we said this episode was supposed to be out on last Friday. Things happened, and then we said it was supposed to be out yesterday. Things were still happening, so we had to get it done today. Sorry.
Yeah, I feel like every episode has been like, a lot of shit's been happening, but a lot of shit's been happening.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mostly sickness.
Yeah.
I would not have been able to record yesterday because I just sounded like you still kind of hear it in my voice, but it was worse yesterday.
Our daughter, the doctor thinks it was pneumonia.
Yep.
We caught, I guess we caught the cold before it turned into pneumonia.
Yeah.
And so that was a thing. But luckily, you got antibiotics in you. She's got antibiotics in her. I didn't need it.
Yeah,
luckily.
I got it harder.
So thank God for not having seasonal allergies.
Yeah.
So, we're here. We made it through. Andrew's gonna be fucking coughing the whole time.
Sorry. The second we start recording is when I have to cough. Like I was good setting up. I was good throughout this morning, and then it's like, hey, you got to talk into a microphone. Here you go.
Yeah, it'd be good if that was water, though. Is it?
Mostly.
Oh my God, I want to slap you right in your face. Mostly, what else is it?
Coffee.
Mostly, get out of my fucking face.
There's ice in it.
That's like, hey, are you hydrating? Yeah, it's Kool-Aid. It's water mixed with Kool-Aid, so I'm hydrating.
That's so much
it's
sugar.
Not the same.
Anyways, so we have to go over the last two matches of Spectacular that we have not yet talked about.
That moment of that podcast that you're referring to is the reason that I have this water bottle. It inspired me to get this water bottle. If you haven't listened to Two Bears, One Cave, Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer.
Mm-hmm. Bert Kreischer?
They if you just want to, I think it's funny and I laugh like every time I see it.
Yeah.
But just go ahead and Google like Two Bears, One Cave, Kool-Aid. Or like
that's so
Bert
much sugar.
Kreischer, Kool-Aid. Yes, that's so much sugar. And just do yourself a favor. Watch it on YouTube. It's a good time. And it inspired me to buy a big ass thing so I could drink a lot of water. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Two Bears, One Cave, Kool-Aid, a lot of sugar thing. It's a good time. But yeah, we got 2 more matches to go over.
IG title, fatal 4-way for the IG title, and then also the overcard of all overcards.
The last overcard.
Very last overcard of the Schmodown.
So sad.
Yes. But yes, let's go ahead and get right into it because we've put this off long enough.
I just want to get this shit in. You know what I'm saying? Let's just do this. Okay. So our IG match. We have, you know what? Let me actually go in the order that they were standing. We have Chandru, the Chosen, Dandapani, representing the Stars, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, we haven't seen Roxy.
She's been like making a movie or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we've got Kevin, the Smasher Smets of the Dungeon. We've got Robert, the Spider Parker of the Den. Right?
Yes.
And then we've got the amazing Mara Knopic representing herself.
Yes.
The Basement, because she has a show that she does on YouTube called The Basement. So we'll say that that's what she's representing. For all-time greats of this game. Yes. I don't think you could be any sort of fan of the IG division and not know all 4 of these names and how accomplished each and every one of them are. So it was because we were prior to celebration, prior to Spectacular, we were like, yo, what's gonna happen with IG?
Yeah,
because like we knew that Robert held the belt. We know that Mike had his rubber type situation going on. So we weren't really sure. And then once we heard that it was these 4 people, we were like,
what?
Okay.
Because
sounds great.
We had always assumed that it's like, well, here's your automatic match. It's the current champ against the person who has the rubber.
Kind of like with the teams match.
Yeah. But I guess things happen and they're like, you know what? Let's just
circumstances change, you know what I'm saying? So we have, what more could you really ask for in these 4 amazing IG competitors? Cough. So were there any was there any entrancey type thing? I think the most fun thing about this I think
no characters.
I think Kevin mentioned it in the post-match interview. It's like, oh, it was such a fucking breath of fresh air to not have you cackling at me the whole time. So in reference to Chandru. And so, yeah. Because, I mean, normally you'd have Chandru just being...
Yeah, the sleazy, like...
Yeah, kind of.
No, not sleazy, like slimy. I think that's the word we always use. This slimy little diabolical, like...
He's like always rubbing his
low-key,
hands together,
like
you know,
low-key
figuratively.
type of,
always trying to get under your skin or whatever. And then like Parker, as of this last season, was kind of like, hey man, I got an attitude too because I'm pissed and so I'm kind of snarky too. And then you got, you know, Kevin and Mara who are definitely not bad guys. So it was like 2 and 2, but there really wasn't any character work and it was so refreshing. Yeah. So not that I disliked any of the character work because Chandru deserves all the praise for being so committed to his role. I could never have done that. But it was really refreshing and I liked seeing them just having a good time. Yeah. Because they're all friends. I mean, Mara even mentioned that Kevin and Robert are going to be in her wedding. So like, I think they're kind of close. So it was kind of nice to see just like a match, you know? So I feel like we have and could say that about every single one of these matches.
And also on the desk, we have another legend of the IG division with Rachel Cushing. Rachel Cushing Levine, sorry.
That is correct.
Yeah, so
it was Rachel and Mark.
Rachel and Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Rachel, again, if you're a fan of the IG division, you have, if you're a fan of the Schmodown, you know who Rachel Cushing is. So that was pretty special to have her on the desk. If you couldn't get her to play 2 matches because Christian only wanted one match per person, but at least we got her in another way, you know, for 2 things. So, oh boy, it's going to be a long ass show, everybody.
Sorry.
Get it out now.
Sorry.
Okay, round 1. Parker missed a question about Star Trek Into Darkness. I think that, you know, Mike Kalinowski, that was a question where he was in. I think it was question 1. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it happens. Mara missed a question about the Rocketeer, and PJ Campbell
shudders.
Physically got, you know, hurt by that. Chandru and Mara missed Morton Downey Jr. Sounds like Robert Downey Jr.'s like nerdy little cousin, Morton. And then Chandru, I don't know who the fuck that is. That could be an actor, that could be a character. I don't fucking know. And then I think it's a character.
I think so.
That's what I'm
unsure.
That's where I'm gonna land on that one. Chandru missed a question about X-Men. I think it was something having to do with like Wolverine.
Something? I can't remember.
In any case, at the end of round 1. Oh! Kevin Smith's got a perfect round 1.
Ooh.
And he got the bonus question correct. So with that, at the end of round 1, Chandru 8, Kevin 11. Well, Dr. Seuss right there. Parker 9, Mara 8. Tight match. Mm-hmm. Round 2, Kevin decides to go first. And I know that you were talking about in a multi-way match.
Yeah, this is curious because it's like usually in like, because I debuted in 5-way, so I know how this goes. And like you want to be able to spin first because there's more categories for you to choose from. If you spin last, you're limiting your choices unless there's more on the wheel that you don't want to get. You know what I mean? So it's like if there's multiple categories on the wheel that you don't like, I don't want to spin that. Let them spin it first to have a better chance of them getting it. Yeah. So yeah, in my opinion, you go first if it's like a fatal 4-way or a triple threat or something like that.
Yeah. So Kevin went first. He spun away from Hasbro. Don't blame him at all. Yeah. Gets Batman. Perfect round 2.
Batman.
Perfect round 2.
Yeah.
Parker goes. He spins Star Trek, decides to keep it. Perfect round 2. Making it easy on us here. Chandru goes. He spins away from Middle Earth. Don't really blame him. And then he gets Mixed Bag. Most people would probably shudder, but bro got a perfect round 2. Mara goes. She spins away from Who Said It. Don't blame her also. Gets comic book movies. Multiple choice twice. Missed 1, and only Kevin stole it. Multiple choice the second time, she got it right. So by the end of round 2, we have Mara at 15, Chandru with 18, Parker with 19, Kevin with 22. Round 3, we got ourselves a betting round. Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Kevin spins away from Mixed Bag. makes sense, and gets dystopian future and time travel. They all,
Time cop.
Yeah, right. They all bet 3, and Mara missed it. Everybody else got it. So with that, a little bit of trouble for Mara there. Now Mara's at 12, Chandra's at 21, Parker's at 22, Kevin is at 25.
Ooh.
Round 4, speed. Kevin got 2. I feel like he buzzed in super fast on
both
one
of
or
them,
both of those. I was like, damn, boy, whoa.
Yeah.
Chandru missed 1, got 1. Parker got 1. It was at this point that Mara was eliminated with a score of 12. So she is now out of the match.
Yeah.
Chandru at 21, Parker at 23, Kevin at 27. Another Dr. Seuss moment for Kevin. Good job, man. Round 5, 2-pointer for Chandru. Scores and soundtracks. Get it out of the way at 2. David Newman composed a score for what 1996 pulp film? Phantom. Got it. 2-pointer for Parker. Fantasy sci-fi. What is the name of the virtual reality system which is at the center of the story of Ready Player One? Good question. Oasis. Got it.
Any Overwatch fans out there? Welcome to
Oasis. I'm not a big fan of Oasis.
You don't like Oasis? Is that the one with the big circle in the middle? And the tower, like the...
Oasis is a bunch of different maps. There's just different...
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Which... Yeah, but you know which one I'm talking about with the cars on the outside of it and...
Where you can get hit by the car?
Yeah.
That one's all right.
Yeah, that one I like.
Yeah.
I can't remember what other... Oh, there's the one with the cliff on the side, the balcony, and then I can't remember what the third one is, even though we play every freaking weekend.
Yeah, we play Overwatch a lot. And
Overwatch 2 just came out.
Overwatch 2 just dropped. A lot of bugs they're working out, but it is what it is. And
My girl Orisa.
I'll keep playing it. Yeah, Orisa's
so much fun to play.
Crazy now.
I'm actually good with Widowmaker now for some reason.
I haven't played her yet. I'm scared to play DPS.
She feels smoother to play now. Like oddly enough, all the characters feel the same, but different.
Yeah.
In subtle ways.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. Let's stream us playing Overwatch one of these days. 3-pointer for Chandru. Superman in Batman vs. Superman. What is spray painted on the Superman statue? I remember you got this in the room with everybody else.
False God.
False God. Got it. 3-pointer for Parker. Batman.
Put me in, coach.
It's
over. Put me in.
Who makes a cameo as a character simply known as Banker in the film Batman and Robin? I think I got this answer right. And also, if I did, very recently, R.I.P., right? Coolio.
Yeah.
Crazy. Got it.
Yeah.
5-pointer for Chandru. Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Chandru had to get to his 5 just to make Kevin get to his 2. God damn. 5-pointer for Chandru. This was quite a question.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, I remember sitting in that viewing room, Googling it, so I would know it. If he said it.
I remember we were in there. And it was like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's. I mean,
and everybody else is doing what you're doing. Like, what is the answer?
Yeah. What is it?
Just noticed my phone is not in here.
You gonna be okay?
I'll be fine.
Okay. I know it's gonna be an hour without looking at TikTok. So if he starts like tweaking, you know I know.
Self-employed. Nobody has to get in touch with me.
5-pointer for the only person that texts you is here.
Well, clients, but I don't have to get back to them immediately.
Oh, word. 5-pointer for Chandru. Heroes. In Men in Black 2, what race of alien is Frank the Pug?
This is a hell of a question. Oh
Romulan.
my God.
He did miss it. He was eliminated with 26 points.
What is this? The Star Wars division?
Right?
Jeez.
That does. Romulan sounds like something that we would have had to know.
Yeah.
2-pointer for Kevin. 2-pointer for Kevin. 2-pointer.
Wait, didn't Chandru missed it, right?
He did miss it.
So he's eliminated.
Literally just said that.
Oh, okay.
With 26 points. It's my life. Literally. Play back the tape, coach.
Your mother calls that the recycle bin.
Yeah. I wish I edited this because if I did, I would do one of those like rewind effects to when I said it and then jump right back to here.
Who knows? Maybe I will do it.
With me like The Office staring into the camera, like Michael Scott or whatever the hell his name is. My life, ladies and gents. 2-pointer for Kevin. DC movies. Who plays Barry Allen's imprisoned father in Justice League? Billy Crudup. Got it. 5-pointer for Parker. Dude can't escape Star Wars. I mean, his last match ended in overtime on a Star Wars question.
Yeah.
So I think by his reaction, he was like, you got to be fucking kidding me, man?
Yeah.
But he got Star Wars in return of the Jedi. Jedi Master. Admiral Akbar says it's a trap after a Mon Calamari says we have enemy ships in what sector? Sector 47. He got that pretty quickly too, I think.
Yeah.
Felt it coming. The better question, I think, is what's the name of that Mon Calamari that said that sector
That one
47?
is...
You remember it? It's still in my head. That's all I'm saying. Put me on a little trivia show. I've worked way too fucking hard. No,
that's the other one.
That's Rogue One. You're thinking of Sholan and Kakin from Rogue One. Also Mon Calamari, yes, but no.
What does it start with?
A V.
Oh God, it's like right there. It's right there.
Sector 47. You got enemy
Verac?
ships. There you go.
There it is.
Just had to do my Mon Calamari impression.
Admiral, we have enemy system Sector 47.
It's a trap. All right.
It's still there.
It's still there.
You just gotta jumpstart it sometimes.
I'm telling you, I need to say more Star Wars words in front of people before it actually falls out of my head. I've worked too damn hard, okay?
Well, we're gonna start doing Rogue One again very soon. In the next
Going Rogue?
Going Rogue, sorry.
3-pointer for Kevin. Middle Earth. In Fellowship of the Ring, when Frodo asks the bartender to tell Gandalf they've arrived, he replies that he has not seen Gandalf in how long? 6 months. Got it. That one was a warm-up because his 3-pointer was like kind of a doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Which brings
6
us-
months.
That's how he said it too. It was so cute. That leads us into our 5-pointer, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin the Smasher Smets gets Marvel in Spider-Man 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. The meteorite carrying the symbiote lands at what New York City location?
I remember sitting in the theater and Mark and Draco was sitting in front of us and he's yelling at the screen. He's like, Central Park! Central Park!
And we were all watching Kevin. He used like a repeat or 2 or 3,
Yeah.
however many he had. I feel like he used at least 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And we were all just like, is he going to second guess himself? Because
Yeah.
it seems so... if you'd ask most anybody, hey, name a landmark in New York City, this is going to be one of them.
Yeah.
So it probably seemed like an easy question
Too
to
obvious,
psych
yeah.
yourself out of.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Kevin was like, you know what, my gut's telling me Central Park. And guess what? He fucking got it.
Mm-hmm.
With that, 33-37. Coming down to, of course, Robert and Kevin. 33-37 in favor of Kevin the Smasher Smets, our new and final 3-time IG champion of the world, ladies and gents.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so proud of this motherfucker.
Hell yeah,
Like,
man.
I am so happy.
That was,
for him.
yeah, that room was electric. Because, like, no, again, like, this discussion always, like, when you're cheering, when it seems like you're cheering for one person, it seems like you're putting down the other.
Exactly.
That's not the way this was. This was the most fun match
Yeah.
of the day.
Yeah.
Like, out of all the matches that day, like, this, you can tell nobody really, you cared who won. People would care, like, oh yeah, I want to go out as a champion, but they just wanted to have fun answering questions and no character work whatsoever. Regardless of what place anybody came in.
Yeah.
Everybody was happy to be there. It was fun. This was such a fun match to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But like that room was electric after Kevin won it again.
Yeah.
Because I had a feeling everybody was like, yeah, rooting for Kevin.
I mean, how could you not?
Yeah.
How could you not? Like, I'm sure that for Robert, it was like, damn,
Yeah.
you know? But, and of course, it's not like you're saying, man, I hope Robert loses it. Like, no, of course not. But like, how could you not?
Yeah, Kevin his story is so ingrained in the Schmodown at this point. Like you'd want him. Like if there's one person like that you'd want to see the IG belt on for the final time. Yeah. It was Kevin.
It just makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, finishing out a 3-time IG champ is wild.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he this was, I mean, he didn't play last season, right?
No, he
this was
spent
his
all last season out.
first season back. I mean, good timing.
Yeah.
With the last season. But like, you come back, I know we said this before, but like you come back a year off because you, I don't know, fought cancer and won. And I'm going to go ahead and assume that he wasn't studying during that time. No. I mean, I can imagine he probably watched movies here and there because when you love movies, you just love movies. But he had lots of other shit going on.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty confident that he probably wasn't like, my flashcards, you know, stuff like that. The fact that he was able to do that in his personal life beat cancer, no small feat. And then, okay, I feel good enough, I feel strong enough to come back to the Schmodown. Makes his triumphant return at Spectacular, which brought chills to my skin and tears to my eyes.
And we knew it was happening.
And I still was like, when we heard that music, I'm like, oh, yes, it's happening.
Who is it?
That's Kevin's music. But yeah, that amazing triumphant return, and Chandru made it that much better because he was just like there, just being the bad guy that we all needed him to be. Yeah, being in that moment.
Yeah, the person you had to boo in order to cheer on Kevin.
Exactly. So, I mean, not you didn't need any excuse to cheer on Kevin.
Yeah, but
he just elevated it more.
Yeah.
So that was amazing. I'm getting little chilly willies just thinking about it. And then the fact that he comes back almost immediately, goes, my belt, give me it back.
Yeah.
Takes it back. And then, loses it. Sure. Happens. But it almost was kind of like, I don't really know what word I'm looking for. It was almost okay that he lost it because, everybody's friends. Yeah. And it's kind of almost like, damn, he lost it. But also at least Robert got to hold it.
And that's what I think we said after Kevin lost it to Robert, because it's like Robert came in with such high expectations to see him like stumble like almost the entire way. And to finally get that, it's like, he finally got it. Like it's validation for all that hype and all those expectations they had on him. So it's like, well, now he can hang his head like, well, at least I finally did it. Yeah. But like I said, if there's one way I wanted this match to, like, all of us pretty much wanted and could have seen this match ending. Yeah, Kevin was the one to do it.
And, it sucks to lose it, but also great that your friend also got to hold it. But then the excitement of being able to win it back.
Oh, yeah.
So it all kind of worked out. It was almost like, it was like, I don't know. It's almost like poetry. Like, he won it right back. He lost it. But then Robert got to hold it. But then Kevin won it right the hell back. Yeah. In a really fun match. The last one for that division of ever. So this was, as with every IG match, I cannot speak for even a second as to how difficult these questions were. Yeah. Literally the only question I knew the answer to was, I knew Sector 47. Were there any other Star Wars questions?
I think we both yelled it out immediately when...
Maybe, I don't remember.
No, because Chandra had also a Star Wars question, the Super Star Destroyer.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Which I feel like that question, if you were just kind of...
It was weirdly worded.
It was oddly worded. Yeah. And if you were just kind of being really relaxed, you'd been like, what?
Super Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
because it has a name.
Yeah. And he got it.
Yeah.
So those are probably the only two questions I got right out of that. So I can't speak to how difficult these questions were. I don't know if they kind of went easy on them for the last one. I don't know if they went hard on them for the last one. I don't friggin' know. But it was a lot of fun. I feel like there were a couple questions that came up that they were kind of like, and then there was the running gag that like Christian and Sam were playing along. Yeah. And I think Robert got a question and he was like getting ready to answer it really quick. And Chandru was like, no, give him time. Give Christian and Sam time to think about it. And it's just cute little moments like that where it was just pals being pals and having fun. I know a lot of people were saying that it reminded them of Schmodown of old.
Yeah. Before like got heavy into like stories and character.
Right. And studying, because I know that I don't know who said it. I don't know if it was one of our friends when we were watching our match or what. But I heard somebody say something to the effect of, it's almost... again, refreshing to see people miss a question.
It makes it interesting and fun. Yeah.
It makes it more interesting. It makes it fun. It makes it feel more real rather than like robots up there saying every right answer, everything is correct, which is also exciting in and of itself, but in a different way. So, but in a match like this, it's kind of like, I missed it. How did I miss that?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Everything about this match was just so fitting. Yeah. I think. It would have been cool if Mara could have gotten to the end, but I'm glad that she was, I'm glad she came back to participate at all. Because there was at one point that I was like, I don't know if she'll come back. Hope she does, I don't know if she will.
Yeah, because like she was supposed to come back beginning of the season, but then health issues and stuff like that, so she had to sit out for a little bit longer. And then the announcement happens, like, well, are we going to see her at all?
Right.
So then they found a way to bring her back. I'm glad we got to see her one last time before the show ended.
Exactly.
So.
And she was, like she said, Mara of old. She was in like sweats and just chilling. And
I don't think there's any more chill competitor than Mara Kanopik in the entire league.
No, she's great.
Yeah.
And I regret that we've never tasted any of her cookies or other baking items.
You have her number. Text her.
I can't just text her and be like, yo, Mara, cookies or what? I can't do that.
Somebody get the word out. Dimalanta's was on Mara Kanopik cookies. Kanopik cookies.
She could absolutely.
They live closer to us now.
Can you? What?
They're in Arkansas.
Oh, they moved?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they moved last year. Yeah.
That is significantly closer.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I would love to. Oh my God. Like she posted a couple of like recipes on Twitter or something like that. And she was talking about like vanilla bean extract. Well, not like vanilla. It was like vanilla bean paste. And I'm like already way above my pay grade. Like she's talking about
chocolate chips, eggs.
I got that shit. But when you start talking about vanilla bean paste, I'm like, I'm out. I will watch you make
a whole
it.
Cinnamon stick.
Yeah, I've never had a cinnamon stick in the house, but I think I will when I make that one drink.
that drink
But
totally load up on that.
Yeah, I'm out. But I'm glad that she does it because baking's never been my thing. Too much measuring. You got to be too precise. I'm more of a, when I cook things, I'm like, sure, we'll throw that in. How much?
That's when you're at your, I tell you all the time, that's when you're at your best. Like, hey, what's in this?
I don't know.
Okay. Word.
Like, there was one time I made stir fry I think we went to my parents' house and I made stir fry for all of us. And my mom was like, oh, you got to tell me this recipe for this and how you make it. I'm like, uh-oh, I don't remember. And so I just kind of went through the motions again. Like, I think I use this. She's like, how much? I'm like, I don't know. A tablespoon? I don't know. But the crazy thing is we went through, tried to like recreate whatever I did that day because it's different every time I make it.
Yeah.
I tried to recreate it that day and she wrote everything down. And then she said that she made it another night for her and my dad. And she was like, it came out great. I'm like, good. Because I don't even know if that's how I made it the first time.
And that's the difficulty of asking my mom for recipes.
Yeah.
It's basically the same way, but also she's used like, because it's cooking for us and our daughter. It's like 3 people.
Yeah.
2.5.
Oh, yeah. Your mom.
My mom only knows how to make like food for like
an army.
20 people.
Yeah.
So when she gives you a recipe, it's like, oh, I guess we're having this for the next month.
Yeah. Hope you got room in your freezer. Yeah, no, I can't do baking. And every time I do bake, I'm like, oh man, Mara would be so disappointed.
So get the word out. The Dimalantas with some Kanopik cookies.
I wish I had something to return. You guys want some Star Wars study notes? We can exchange.
We'll show up on your show. We'll talk Star Wars.
I won't hold my breath, but
there's more we can
to.
offer.
Oh man,
yeah,
I would love to because I've heard that they're great.
Yes,
but yeah. So I love that we got to see her again. I'm so glad because I feel like it had been a while since we'd seen Chandru too.
Yeah.
He's another personality where it just wouldn't have felt right without him being involved to some capacity because with the character work that he threw himself into, he just became a cornerstone, I think, of this division.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that he got to be back in it too. And I don't know, I can't speak to how much each one of these 4 people studied prior to this match.
Yeah. So like for the entire day, it felt like only 2 people were like, really like at the top of their game. Paul Oyama was like on it.
He was on that day.
He was on it. He missed 1 question in the speed, which again, we said missing the speed is far more forgivable.
Definitely.
And then the second person was Kevin.
Kevin first of all, if I'm not mistaken, he played a perfect game.
He was on like at top of his game this entire match.
He didn't miss a single question, and he was the only person to pick up a steal opportunity, I think. So Kevin was on fire on this day. The one thing that I wonder, because I'm so dumb and superstitious, is that after his match, we went out and all 4 competitors were like in a different
we were in like the prep room because we were swapping mics because we were on next and we had to get the mics swapped
after
out.
IG.
Yeah.
And I went over to Kevin. I'm like, I'm so proud of you. Oh my God. I gave him a huge hug, touched his belt in the process because it was on his shoulder. And I'm like, if that's why, I lost this piece of shit, I'm gonna be pissed. Because I have not. That was the first time I ever touched any belt. I haven't touched this thing, and I never fucking will.
You should.
I'm not going to because I.
What if we do our rematch next year?
It's not the same. Even if next year we had a rematch and you were like, I'm gonna put the belt up, it's still not mine. It doesn't count. I will never touch that thing ever. And if that is why I lost, I got to rethink my hug technique. Because, I hugged him, and then I was like, oh,
I felt that way after last year because I touched the team's belt at Spectacular last year. I was like, oh, shit.
Well, I'm glad it didn't fucking affect you. Maybe because IG is a lot more adjacent to Star Wars. I'm the asshole. I should have hugged him a different way to avoid his belt, God damn it. But... anyways, but yeah, I'm super glad Chandru was involved in this because his personality was it was too prevalent. Yeah. In this last season or two, especially he really pulled a lot of weight, I think, character wise during the digital era too.
Oh yeah.
All of his costumes and all that stuff. Robert Parker, like you said, he came in at fan leaks with Kevin. Yeah. Lot of hype behind him, and then if you don't come out the gate, and dominate right from the beginning, then everyone's kind of like, oh wow, I guess it was kind of overhyped for nothing. Yeah. And Robert Parker kind of fell victim to that, unfortunately, and he had nothing to do with it. He just started playing and people started hyping him up, and now he had to deal with the repercussions of other people building him up, which frustrating, I'm sure. But he had a long history in this game, and he had a lot of roadblocks, unfortunately. He came so close last year. Yeah, last year was heartbreaking. And it was especially heartbreaking to watch it be a Star Wars question. Yeah. Oh my God, that hurt. But I'm really, really happy for Robert that he got to get in right at the buzzer, Yeah. Yeah, this last match didn't go his way. But I'm glad that the one before it did. Even if it was taking it off of Kevin. Of course, I was hoping that Kevin would win that match, obviously, but I was super happy for Robert because at least he got it in, at the very end. And Kevin got it back anyway. So everybody wins. But yeah. Yeah,
this was a fun match. Like I said, like out of all the matches that day, I think this was the most fun to watch. Yeah. Just because everybody was so like having so much fun, and you can clearly see like even if the person lost, like, oh well. Yeah. I'm glad I'm here.
Exactly. So. But massive congratulations to Kevin. Massive congratulations to all four of them. Yeah. Because all four of them have done so many things in the division, and they have done so many things to keep it exciting and engaging for the fans. All four of them in different ways. Oh, yeah. And Mara was kind of more like an old guard kind of thing because she stepped away a while ago. Oh, yeah. So yeah, they've all kind of been different generations of what I think that actually makes this match even a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, it's representing different generations of the Schmodown. Yeah,
exactly. But they all work so well together. But the amount of while this match was more lighthearted, it doesn't take away the fact that these people put their hearts and their souls and their time and their energy into every single season they played. Yeah. And that's why they are four of the greats in the division. Because I know that there was somebody missing from that match, but like when you talk about a Rushmore of IG, your conversation is going to involve these four people. Yeah. So this was a real treat of a match to watch. And yeah, it sucks that we're not going to see them compete again. But maybe one day, who knows? Maybe the Schmodown will be back in some capacity. Wishful thinking.
Hopefully.
Who knows?
I'm not going to be a part of it.
Somebody asked me Star Wars questions so I can say these stupid words in front of people again before they fall out of my brain forever, and I don't try to get them back. But
if they restart the Schmodown and they ask the Star Wars belt back, you're going to have to pry it from my cold, dead hands.
Dead fingers. But PLD mentioned something on his stream with PJ about,
they said that this
was a big thing, Patreon,
something like that. But he also, I think they mentioned that Star Wars was going to retire after this season, regardless of the show.
Well, we were too. If the show was going to go on, we were going to retire too. So good timing for all, I guess. Hey. But PLD mentioned something about
the big thing
Patreon, and how they might do like little miniature matches with leftover questions that were never used. Yeah.
And you get to play against somebody or
feed me those questions. I want to answer them. I just need to know what kinds of questions weren't asked. Were there questions that we've been waiting for?
You know, we should just contact PJ and PLD. It's like, just send us the document.
I just need to know.
I just need to know where these questions are.
There were so many questions that we've been waiting for so long, and I need to know if they were at least in the database. That's what I need to know. That's all I need to know.
Let's compare documents.
Oh my God. I want people to ask me more questions, and I want to ask people my questions. I know that we have all been doing trivia a little bit too long to give it up cold turkey. I'm certain people are going to have little shows popping up, little streams popping up here and there where they do little trivia thingies. So, you know, we'll see what happens. And with all this, like, there's endless Marvel shit coming out.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many TV shows coming out. There is an never-ending plethora of places to get trivia questions. Yeah. And could you imagine if the Schmodown ever did expand to TV, or if IG ever did expand to these new TV shows, or Star Wars ever did expand to the TV shows that were coming out?
There's endless possibilities with that.
I'd sooner slam
we're
my
watching
head in a
Andor.
wall.
It's like, oh, Jesus.
I'm so glad I don't have to know who that person is.
Hit that little box. I'm glad I don't have to know what that little box is.
You want to know what's funny? Andor, that guy who put on the wig and was like,
yeah,
and like talked to Mon Mothma. I don't even know what his name is. I don't fucking care.
I do like that.
That was very funny.
Somebody put a meme on was it Hannah? I think Hannah did. It's like, when I'm getting ready to go out with friends or something. He's like,
yeah, I saw somebody else like when I'm getting ready to jump on my Zoom call with coworkers.
Something like that. Like,
I'm like, yep,
yeah,
absolutely.
Like, oh, yeah, okay. No, it was Hannah's like an engineer getting ready to go out with his friends or something like that.
Anybody else in that show who's not Cassian, Mon Mothma, I know B2, the droid. I don't think I could tell you anybody. Cyril is that bad guy.
Cyril,
because he sounds like Cyril Figgis.
Yeah,
that's the only reason I remember his name. An Archer reference. I don't think I could tell you anybody else's name in that show, and I don't give a fuck. So, oh well.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it ever expanded to TV, I would have slammed my head to the door and then called Christian and been like, "I'm done right now." But this was a treasure of a match.
Yes, and then
had
afterwards,
so much fun watching it.
Afterwards, in the post-match, Barbarian's able to get Elvis back. They all
physically restrain Robert Parker. And then Barbarian runs on the stage, reunites Elvis! With Elvis. That was a fun. I don't think we heard that was going to happen. So that was a fun, unexpected
I was like,
moment.
Oh, that's fun.
That was a lot of fun. And at least Craig got to make a cameo in Spectacular. So that was a lot of fun for a couple different reasons. Yeah. But yeah. And it was a cute post-match interview because they all got interviewed together. So that was a lot of fun. And I wouldn't have wanted that to happen any other way.
Yeah.
So spectacular send-off for the IG division for many, many reasons.
Yes.
But yeah, for the best to ever do it.
All right. Yes. So let's go ahead and move on to the final overcard of the movie trivia Schmodown.
God.
Spectacular VII. Who we got?
Okay. We have got what people have been referring to as the GOAT match.
The GOAT match. GOAT match
so
2.
Tired of hearing the word GOAT. We got Sam.
The Inglorious
one. I would have gotten there. Jesus Christ. What is this, a speed round? The Inglorious one, Sam Levine, going up against Dangerous Dan Murrell. And yeah, Dan was representing the Den. Mm-hmm. And Sam was, I don't know, representing YOLO Solo, but also representing the memory of the Usual Suspects, because that was a good time too.
Yeah.
I did write their records down, but these are the records prior to the match. Hello, dog. Love having you in here. Don't eat anything that you're not supposed to eat. Nothing in here is food. So, as she promptly leaves as I say that. The dog's a paid actor. Prior to this match, their records. Sam, 14-4 with 5 knockouts. Dan, 21-8.
Oh my God.
With 9 knockouts. Holy shit.
It always makes it unsettling that, like, before this match and after my last match, I have half as many victories as Sam Levine has.
Dan has more knockouts than I have total matches, I think. So
Yeah.
that's a humbling thing to think about. Round 1. Dan missed a question about Police Academy. Yeah. Something about John C. McGinley and Eight-Legged Freaks, a movie that I will never watch ever because I am severely arachnophobic. Also, Dan took a little bit of an issue with that John C. McGinley question. You know who that is, right?
Yeah.
Because they said, what sitcom actor? And I do think that PJ and PLD talked about this on their stream too. Because they were like, John C. McGinley was in one of the most successful, popular sitcoms of all time, Scrubs, as one of the main characters, Dr. Cox. He's a sitcom actor. Yeah. He also happens to be in movies as well. I don't know which one came first, chicken or the egg. I know John C. McGinley from Scrubs. So I had no issue with that being sitcom actor. But I also know the only movie, I don't even know what was in this question. I think they named like 3 movies that he was in. Couldn't tell you what they were. The only movie that I'm somewhat confident that he's in, Platoon, I think. Yes. That's the only movie I can...
Or... Was it that or the other one?
I don't know, but I think it was that one. Literally the only movie that I think I can name that he's in. I know him from Scrubs, so, you know.
I think this is his most popular role.
He's a sitcom actor as far as I'm concerned. But then again, I'm not a movie buff.
Yeah.
Maybe Dan knew him from only movies and maybe he never watched Scrubs, which would be a travesty. And if you haven't seen it, you should. Sam missed a question about the Mitchells versus the Machines. That sounds like a fucking alt-rock band from the 2000s. 7-9 in favor of Sam after round 1. Round 2.
Didn't Dan also miss a wrestler question or something like that?
Wasn't that the police academy question?
Yeah.
Wait, Sam or Dan?
Dan. I think Dan missed like a wrestler in film.
I think that was the police academy question.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think he said Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was like what WCW or WWE former champion or something.
Yes, former WCW champion or something like that.
I forget what the right answer was, but I think Dan said Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't remember, but I think that was the police academy question.
Yeah.
7-9 in favor of Sam. Round 2. Dan spins away from monster movies and gets monster movies. He goes to multiple choice one time, missed it, but it was not stolen.
Ooh.
Sam spins Amblin, and after thinking about it for a little bit, he decides to stick with it. Multiple choice twice, got them both. Same gap, 15-17 in favor of Samuel. I don't think Sam is short for Samuel. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Might be.
Round 3, the betting round. Sam spins the Cusacks. Joan is one of them.
Yes.
John. John? Cusack?
Yeah.
Are those the only 2?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
How many Cusacks are there that they get their own slice? I don't even know if Joan is one of them. How many Cusacks are there? You know who should
Write in the comments,
who should have a slice is the Mickelsons. How many Mickelsons are there?
Mads Mikkelsen and
I think there might be a Lars. I feel like there's another one that just got cast. I saw somebody on Twitter saying like some other Mikkelsen was like rumored to be Thrawn.
That's Lars.
Oh, well, it seems like there's about 10 Mickelsons. So they should have a slice if there's only 2 Cusacks.
It's only because he voices him in Rebels. Fantastic voice for Thrawn anyways, but yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you cast him as Thrawn? But it hasn't been confirmed yet. It's just
because
rumored.
Isn't the guy from Andor Mikkelsen?
Yeah.
How many are
Mads
there?
Mikkelsen.
No.
Mads
Mikkelsen is Galen Ertz, so I don't know how many there are. I don't know why the
I'm so glad I'm done with trivia.
I want to say
glad.
I want to say these words and letters and numbers that are in my head. I spent so much time. They got the Cusacks, however many of those there are. 2. Sam bets 3. Dan bet 2, but they both got it. 17-20 in favor of Sam. Round 4. It's probably a Sam Mickelson. Round 4. Sam got 3 because he's Sam. Dan got 1 and missed 1. I feel you.
Yeah.
17-23 in favor of Sam.
Yeah, Sam is, I've said it before, Sam is king of the buzzers.
King of the buzzes. Round 5, 2-pointer for Dan. Tom Hanks. Dan Aykroyd stars as Sergeant Joe Friday opposite Tom Hanks in what 1987 buddy cop comedy based on a TV show. And I believe Dan's the criminally underrated Dragnet. Got it. 3-pointer for Dan. Family Films. Patrick Stewart voices Adventure, a swashbuckling gold adventure fiction book resembling a pirate. I had to look at this question about 5 to 10 times because I was like, is there a word missing? Because it was typed on the screen differently than how Christian read it. So I had to go back and listen to Christian read it a couple times to know that I had it word for I think word, and it still doesn't really make sense to me. Let's try this again. Patrick Stewart voices Adventure, a swashbuckling gold adventure fiction book resembling a pirate with an eye patch. In what film? It just keeps going.
Yeah.
Opposite,
Too many adjectives.
Opposite Macaulay Culkin. The Page Master. Got it. 5-pointer for Dan. Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. In Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Another good map in Overwatch. One of my favorites. In Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Who played Squeaky? A Manson girl watching over George at Spawn Ranch. Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because obviously, when you're going into round 5 and you got to answer your 2, your 3, and your 5 just to make Sam move, obviously that's a very bad situation. And I think we all know what's going to happen. I don't think Sam's going to miss every question in round 5. So I think we all knew basically what was going to happen. But the fact that a 5-pointer was missed because there were multiple Fanning girls. He said Elle Fanning, but the answer was Dakota Fanning. Much like the Cusacks. They're everywhere, I guess.
Or Mendelssohns.
Or the Mickelsons. Anyways,
sorry.
He said Elle Fanning, but the answer was Dakota Fanning.
Yeah.
With that, 22-23 in favor of Sam, the inglorious one, Sam Levine, in a TKO victory over Dangerous Dan Murrell.
Wow. I mean, like I said.
Defending once again.
For the 3rd time in a row. First to ever do that in the history of the Schmodown. So, like I said, you're looking up at Sam Levine like, whoo. Even Dan Murrell couldn't climb that mountain this season.
This was a dangerous season for singles, well, everyone, but also singles and IG.
Yeah.
Because the fact that you had Sam Levine coming back from a significant hiatus of being a player, and the fact that he just waltzed right back in and was like, I will take that belt back and not even come close to giving it up.
Yeah, he did. Like, all his wins are, well, hold on. The only one that didn't end in a knockout is the Marisol when he took it off of Marisol.
Something like that.
So then he defended again against...
He took out Oyama, he took out Irwin, he took out Dan, and I think those were all knockouts to some capacity.
I think Oyama was a knockout.
The other ones were TKOs, I think.
Was Irwin a knockout as well?
I think they mentioned it in the post-match, and I think they said it was.
Wow. So the only person... So he took it off of Marisol, and then...
And the Marisol match was one... Wasn't that one where she didn't even miss a question?
Yeah, it was an infamous... nobody missed a question.
A gold leader Burkett situation.
Yeah. The only reason she lost the belt was Sam was a monster on the buzzers. So like I said, like, if you were a singles competitor, even Dan Murrell couldn't... Like... Even Dan Murrell's looking up at Sam this season going like, oh my God.
You wonder what would have happened if it wasn't the circumstances that we were in. What would have happened if it was a regular title match in the midst of another season that the Schmodown wasn't ending?
Yeah.
And Dan, I don't know how much Dan prepared and studied. But like, you wonder what would have happened if we weren't in this circumstance that we're in. Or were in. You wonder, because they both clearly went into this match very loose.
Yeah.
So you wonder. But yes, dangerous season for the singles division because Sam just kind of like walked back in like, I'm just going to dominate.
Yeah. Take it off of Marisol and then knock out the rest of my competitors coming after the belt.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Not even just win by a little, a point or two
like
here and there.
Blowout wins.
Blowout wins.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
And then, also... it's just interesting that this season Sam comes back after that hiatus. And like I said before, Kevin comes back after his hiatus. And he lost the belt in the middle, but like he plucked it back up in the beginning and then won it back in the end. Yeah. So this was just a crazy season for those two people to walk back in and just be like, I'll take that back.
Yeah.
But in this match specifically, another really fun, lighthearted match, a lot of inside jokes in the questions. I learned that Sam Levine draws very silly little middle finger cartoons. Very funny. Because I think he did middle fingers for the Remember the Titans question.
And then
the Burbs.
Excuse me, sir. Yeah.
Oh, boy. The Burbs. Because I think Dan Murrell has a history with the Burbs and where he has missed multiple questions about that movie.
This is the first time he's answered correctly on the Burbs question.
I think Sam drew like a really big middle finger for that one in on behalf of Dan.
They don't blur it out because it's the last go. So
why not? They blurred out the F words, but
yeah, those we did. But
the cute little fingies was kind of like, whatever. Kids are gonna learn one day. But yeah, there was a couple of those. I feel like there might have been another one or two.
Yeah.
I know that Dan was like, I never thought I would ever get a question about the Page Master, you know. And so that was fun. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this was another lighthearted match. In the beginning, Sam pulled a Dan on Dan, where he, last year at Spectacular with that GOAT match, Dan gave the belt ceremoniously, figuratively, whatever you want to call it. Not figuratively. I mean, he physically. Literally. Gave him the belt. And so Dan gave his whole speech about like, oh, how much of an impact you've had and blah, blah, blah. You're the legend, blah, blah, blah. And then like Sam gave the exact same speech and was like, no, this doesn't end with the belt on my shoulder. This ends with the belt on your shoulder. So that was a fun, cute, but also heartfelt moment in the post-match interview.
Yeah, and that's an argument people will have after this match. Like, so like Levine knocks out Merle for the final singles title match of all time. Yeah. Does that make Sam the GOAT? It's like, I mean, I wish I had my phone in front of me, but like Dan is 5-time singles champion, defended it like 7 times total. I think he's only won the team's title once, but defended it once. I can't remember because he won the team's title with Roca, defended it once and then lost it to, I believe it was
Corruption, Shazam.
I think it was either Corruption or Shazam.
No idea.
I can't remember. But yeah, so I mean, just taking up the team's title all together and just focusing on the singles belt, 5-time winning, defending it 7 times, not consecutively, but out of all the times you defended, that's wild. That's wild. So it's like the argument is like, I think Sam has one of the best runs out of all the Schmodown to come back and go to make that run is ridiculous. Like
after
unreal.
So long of not actually competing yourself.
Yeah.
That's just, and the game, I would say significantly changed since the last time he had played.
Yeah.
So, and he just came back in like no time had passed. It's crazy. But
yeah.
It was really cool to be able to see them compete, in person. Because we'd seen Dan in person before, but we'd never seen Sam in person competing. So that was really exciting to see. But yeah, this was a really cute match. I enjoyed how lighthearted it was, just like the IG match. I don't know. I like I said before, I don't really partake in GOAT conversations so much, but I like to think that these two are the two GOATs.
Oh yeah, I think they something they bring to the division something different. But like when you think of like, oh man, when you think of the singles division or just Schmodown in general, one of the first names you say is Dan Merle.
Absolutely,
because it's like he's so ingrained. I think one of the most ridiculous stats, or one of the things that I always thought was interesting. Dan Merle is the only person to have worn all iterations of the singles belt.
Yeah.
So the first one with that WCW heavyweight title, when they just used that one, he won it off of Riley, and then they bought the Collider ones. He won it. He was able to wear that one, and then they retired that one when they bought these new ones, and he swapped that one. It's like, so he's the only singles competitor to have worn every single iteration of the singles belt.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So you were there, like I said, he's there from almost the very beginning.
Yeah.
And he ends as the last match. Granted, it's a loss, but he played from basically the beginning of the Schmodown to the end of the Schmodown.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're thinking of like one person, what you think of when you think of the movie trivia Schmodown, besides the creators,
right?
Dan Merle.
Absolutely.
So, and then there's one other thing that I think I was thinking about while we were talking about like people winning back their belts. I think it's interesting that all the players that had stepped away from the game last season in some way, shape, or form came back and won their belt back.
Was there anybody besides Sam and Kevin? I thought you were saying taking time off. I guess you took time off. Technically, it wasn't a year.
It wasn't a year, but I took time off. So like every single person that stepped away from the game after losing the belt ended up coming back and winning it. So I think it's a fun little stat that I wanted
Good
to
for
put
you. I'm so happy for you. Sorry. I'm so proud I can make that happen for you. Yeah. No, it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool because I can't imagine stepping away from the game from that long.
Mm-hmm.
And then just walking in like no time passed at all.
Mm-hmm.
Which is basically what all of you did. I mean, granted, you weren't away from the game for a year or more.
Yeah.
Circumstances were definitely different. But, you know, it was a good couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
But a good couple of months in Star Wars
it's like
can pass you by in a long time.
Yeah, it's basically a year.
But then again, same thing. You could say the same thing about singles because not only in Star Wars, it's just a different scope because in Star Wars, the level of detail can change drastically and blow the doors off of your notes to the point where your notes are no longer very complete as they ask one type of question and all of a sudden it opens Pandora's box.
Yeah.
And now you got to start doing much more research to cover all those bases that were just revealed. However, in the singles division, you take off a year and you have like 2 million movies that would come out in that amount of time. So if you're not watching movies all the time, then you're going to fall behind too. So it's just different. But
this is a
really
great
cute
this
match.
is a great match, great event all around. Like we said, that was a long day, a long fun day. I think that was the one thing that we took away from this is like this is a fun day, just hanging out with everybody
I'm so glad
just
we were
watching matches. And I'm glad we went out and did it because again we had the option of just staying home, make it a digital match.
It wouldn't have been this. I mean, obviously, it wouldn't have been the same.
Yeah.
It would have been so lame if we would have done that.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to spend the money to fly out there, if I'm being quite honest. I wish we could have been flown out. Didn't fucking happen. But it would have been so lame.
Yeah.
If they would have been like, okay, let's cut away from all this fun and we'll go to a digital match again.
Yeah.
And I have no problem with the digital matches.
Yeah.
There have been issues here and there, but I think by and large, the digital era was unavoidable because of a global pandemic. But I think that
it was necessary.
It was necessary, and I think it enhanced some stuff. It opened a lot of doors. I don't
think we discover Marisol McKee without digital.
There's a lot of people.
You might be able to discover her, but then like you don't see quite as much of her.
There's a lot of people that we wouldn't have seen quite as much of.
Adam Collins, yeah.
And we met a lot of competitors that year because there was like 50 matches a week that year. Overabundance almost. But like, I thought the digital era was great. I think it was handled as well as it could have been handled. There was always room for improvement, but that can go for anything in the world ever. Yeah. Yes, there were technical difficulties here and there that happened that I have an issue with still, but you know, for the most part, the digital era I think was great. And but given the way that Spectacular was handled, it would have been so lame.
Oh yeah, it would have been
to
lame.
Cut back to a digital match.
If anything, it would have been like its own little match, and then it wouldn't air with. I can see that happening. Like it's like, hey, it's a Star Wars match that we're going to air before Spectacular.
Yeah, I do. I mean, there's endless coulda, woulda, shouldas for something like this coming to an end. I do wish that there was a way that we could have incorporated digital into. Not into Friday Night Titans, because I understand and respect that it wouldn't have fit with the format, but I still do think that there could have been a place for digital. Yeah. Outside of a paywall. But I do think that there was a way to do that. Yeah. But for the all intents and purposes of the Spectacular match, we could not let it go without being in person.
We had to go. And I'm so glad we did because it was a fun day meeting and seeing more people that we hadn't had much contact with. Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And we got to take a COVID test for free. Yeah. Didn't have to pay for it. So that was cool.
Anyway, so that was the Schmodown Spectacular VII.
Yeah. Yeah.
New champions, remaining champions. It was a good time. Good event.
One thing that we will call back to that I realized that we didn't talk about in the Star Wars coverage that we did was we didn't talk about your entrance.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we can get that in the next episode. Okay. So, because we'll push it to next Monday, just because I don't think we want to do another episode this week. Just
we'll see.
We got a lot going on right now, but so join us next week where we will have our final episode of Beyond the Schmodown.
Yeah, but check it out. Like we've said before,
we're not going anywhere.
We're not gonna leave completely. We just don't have Schmodown to talk about anymore. If you like listening to these two doofuses talk about whatever, for whatever reason, we're still going to be here.
Yeah,
we're just going to talk about other shit that's just not Schmodown.
Yeah, so next week will be the final episode of Beyond the Schmodown, and this show will just turn into rad.
It'll just morph into a general discussion type thing.
And we already have the logo art for it.
And you already listened to us talk about random shit at the top of most episodes and sometimes in the middle of most episodes. So if you enjoy that at all, we'll fucking be here.
We'll be here.
So,
So we'll go ahead and wrap this episode up here. Star Wars competitor Nicki Dimalanta, where can they find you online?
Ooh, I'm on Twitter at Dimmy, DIMMYYY.
As for me, you can follow me on Twitter at Drew Dimalanta, DIMALANTA, and on TikTok and Instagram at Rogue Leader Drew. Listen to us on audio form. Please follow the feed and rate us.
And if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, click the bell icon in the lower right-hand corner. See, we do things on the YouTubes.
Which will, of course, be the Radcast coming in a couple weeks. And
coming in hot.
And going rogue, which I want to start doing because I'm really enjoying Andor. We might talk about it. I don't know.
I got to rewatch an episode or two.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you for joining us on this episode of Beyond the Schmodown. See you guys next time.